Welcome back to my channel, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my springtime favorites. And I have things that are kind of all across the board, things that I've been loving lately, things that are specific to helping me with spring and everything in between. And I just realized as I'm sitting here looking at the things that I picked out is I kind of have like categories. So let's go by category, shall we? The first thing that I just hit myself in the face with, this is an Octo Curl, and I'm sure you saw this in my YouTube thumbnail and said, what is on her head? So this is a heatless hair curler, basically, and they have lots of different types and sizes and styles and colors and all sorts of different kinds of things. My hair has been really damaged by heat tools. So my curling iron, hair dryer, all those kinds of things. And so I'm really trying to rebuild healthy hair. And so here we have it. This is what I have been using and loving. So what you do is you put it on your head like so, and they have these little tentacles. And so if you want really, really spirally curls, you wrap your hair around one. If you want more wide curls, you can wrap around 2 or 3 or whatever. So you just wrap your hair around the tentacles like so, and then blah, blah, blah. We get to the bottom down here, these little elastic bands will hold it into place. You sleep on it, and then you take it out in the morning, and that's it. And so, ta-da, I do like to run a brush through my hair when I'm done, just to have a little more beachy waves, but I've been loving it. It's worked so well. So the one that I have, this is the satin fabric, which is really good for really kind of heat damaged hair in the normal size, but they also have a cotton poplin and they have a terry cloth in different sizes also. So check out the website. I have it linked in the description bar below. I've talked about this on Instagram a lot and a lot of people have ordered it and love it also. Super comfortable to sleep on, and you get so many different options by just, if you braid your hair, if you twist your hair, if you put it up like Princess Leia and all sorts of things. So check it out. All right, so speaking of hair, Mira hair oil. This is a hair oil from Young Living and it smells so good, like a bouquet of flowers. And one bottle, I think, what is this? This is 1.8 ounces. It lasts me for years, literally. I use 2 or 3 drops on dry hair after I take my Octo Curl out to help tame frizzies, and it works so nicely to help kind of define the curls a little bit, but also to not be like, brr. It just is so nice. So I've been loving the Mira hair oil lately. I've been using it pretty much daily. So since I was kind of talking about sleep, we're going to stick with sleep. So this thing right here is called Leafy. This is Leafy Nidra. It is a tincture from the Leafy company. I have it linked also, again, in the description. I think you can save 15% with that link. And this is a tart cherry tincture that also has blue vervain, it has chamomile and passion flower. And this tincture, I gotta tell you a story. So I actually just got this yesterday. This I got for helping with sleep. I had heard that people were making tart cherry gummies before they would go to bed. They would eat a little gummy, homemade, or they would have some tart cherry juice with some magnesium to help with sleep and that kind of thing. And so because I order Leafy Prana, which is a different tincture, I was like, I'm just gonna try this and see how it goes. We could all use better sleep. Why not, right? At 7:50 p.m. last night, I did 2 dropperfuls of this under my tongue. You let it sit for 20 seconds and then you swallow. By 8:30, I messaged my sister and I was like, I feel really tired. It just felt so relaxed, almost like I was sitting under a weighted blanket. It was a really not a normal feeling for me. And so she's like, well, get off your devices and it's time for bed. I didn't know how like far before bed I was supposed to take this. So I was like, I'll give it plenty of time to work. Apparently for me, it takes about a half hour and that's about it. This morning I woke up and I realized I slept really well. I woke up really well rested, felt really good. I didn't feel groggy or like tired or weird or anything like that in the morning. But apparently tart cherry helps with the body's production of melatonin. And I normally do lots of different things to help with sleep before going to bed. I do essential oils and all sorts of things and I take magnesium and what have you. This is something that is going to become a staple in my sleepy time routine. It worked so well last night for me. I was shocked, literally, how well it worked. So let me stick with sleep for real quick, and then I'll get into the other Leafy product. So this is what I use also before bed. This is Nature's Ultra, which is a Young Living company now, CBD Beauty Boost. And I've talked about this on my channel in Young Living unboxings. I love this CBD because you apply it to your face. Smells so good. It smells like it has rose essential oil in here. It also has CBD and other good skin nourishing oils in here. It's my moisturizer that I use before bed that's really good for age signs. So spots and broken capillaries and wrinkles and acne and all kinds of things. And it works really well for my skin. So I do about 7 drops in my palm. I rub it on my face and my neck before I go to sleep. The CBD is really good for inflammation, also very good for relaxing and winding down before bed. Rose is good for youthful appearance of skin. So I keep this at my bedside and I apply it to my skin before I go to sleep. And it's been my moisturizer of choice for a very, very, very long time, but it's just so florally. It just reminded me of spring. So that's why it's made the favorites this time. All right, these next 2 things go together kind of. So continuing on with Leafy, this is Leafy Prana, and Leafy Prana is a tincture, kind of like Nidra, but it has turmeric, ginger, and black pepper in here. And I had seen people were talking about having this for inflammation support post long haul, the thing that's been floating around the world the last 2 years. And so I have a drawer that has a whole bunch of different vitamins and all sorts of kinds of things. That is a just in case drawer. It's packed, it's stocked, it's ready in the event that I need some really good, strong immune support to help my body. And so I had purchased 1 or 2 bottles of these, I don't know, way back when, to have in that drawer. And then I had started seeing it come up that people were using it for things like headaches or reducing just everyday inflammation and various things like that. So it's like, well, maybe I'll just try and start using it. Why not? What's it going to hurt, right? We could all use inflammation support. And so it was one of those things when I'd had a headache and I had it and I was like, try this and see if this helps with my headache. And so I used this in addition to the other headache helpers that I normally do, which is like peppermint on my temples, back of the neck. I also put a drop of thieves on the pad, thieves and essential oil. I put it on the pad of my thumb and I press it to the roof of my mouth and let it sit there for like 10 seconds or whatever. And then in addition to this thing I'll talk about in just a second. And it has helped me consistently every single time when I felt like a headache was coming on. So I have this. I love it. It works so well. This is why it also makes a favorite, because during spring, anytime the weather changes really drastically, that's when my head is like, ugh. So super helpful to have on hand. It tastes really good. Like it's kind of like comforting almost, really warm. I really like it a lot. So that is something that I am adding to my wellness cabinet tools, my toolbox. So speaking of toolbox, Dr. Danielle's Migraine Assist. So I had purchased this. This is probably my 2nd or 3rd bottle a while back when my husband got his very first migraine, and migraines run through his lineage through a certain part of his family. When he got his first one, I was like, well, we need to do something, because the medication he was on at the time, which he's off now, so excited, but the medication he was on literally prohibited him from being able to take any over-the-counter medications at all, because it was kind of like an aspirin, that type of thing, medication that he was taking every day. So NSAIDs, aspirin, all of that off the table. It's an interaction. And so I was like, well, I need to have something for him to have when a migraine comes up. And so I had done some research and I found this. And so this is a combination of vitamins. It has vitamin C, B1, B2, B6, B5. It also has copper in here too. We're all depleted in copper, so that makes sense. Magnesium glycinate is in here too. Also quercetin. It has organic feverfew, butterbur, CoQ10, and ginger. The CoQ10 and the ginger, very like, right? Turmeric and ginger in here. And so this is something that I knew that he could take, and I wanted to keep it on hand just in case another migraine or a headache or something came up. One day I had a headache, and so I was like, I'm gonna try it and see if it helps me. And it helped me. I don't get migraines or anything like that, but I was like, why not try it? Who knows? Maybe it'll work. So this plus this peppermint oil, essential oil here, Thieves on the pad of my thumb, pressed through from my mouth. That is right now my go-to if I am feeling headachy and hydrating a lot. So drinking Ningxia Red or drinking minerals. I do mineral essence from Young Living and all of that. This arsenal, it is so, I mean, like life-changing for me. I stopped taking over-the-counter medications in 2016 when my husband was diagnosed with autoimmune stuff. And the last Advil that I took, it burned my stomach. And I was in the middle of teaching a flute lesson. It was not a good day for me. Long-winded thing to say, but they work. Like I said, everything's linked in the description bar below if you want it. All right, so we're talking about springtime, right? So here is my allergy roller. This saves me constantly. This is 10 drops of peppermint essential oil, lavender essential oil, and lemon essential oil. All essential oils I get 100% of the time are from Young Living. I will not use another essential oil brand because this is the highest quality essential oil that I have been able to find, and it works so well. So I take my allergy roller if I'm getting stuffy, watery eyes, you know, scratchy throat, anything like that. I take my roller, roll it around my ear, down the side of my neck. Same thing here, around the ear, down the side of my neck. And each time, and I do like, I kind of like push it to the back of my neck also. It helps my sinuses drain. It helps me not be stuffy, watery, itchy, all of that stuff. I used to take various over-the-counter things for my allergies, and this works great for me now. And it can be any, like even if I've just dusted the house or vacuumed or whatever, like in all pollen and dust applications around cats, all the things, it helps me so much. And even just doing that, I didn't even realize that I was a little bit stuffy, and like my sinuses have opened and I'm breathing clearly, and I literally just applied this. So it's amazing how quickly these things work. So the next thing, which has nothing to do with anything that I just talked about, but it's fine. This is Savvy Minerals Concealer. This is the light one color. Savvy Minerals is Young Living's makeup brand. All non-toxic, works so good. I love this concealer. It works so well. Smells like nothing, and it has tea tree essential oil in here. So if you have blemish prone skin, tea tree is really good for helping to reduce blemishes and redness and that kind of thing. And it works so good for any under eye circles, discoloration at all. Like it covers up everything so well, and non-toxic, no yuck in here. Probably my favorite makeup product from Young Living. All right, and the last thing, it wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about snacks. This is Artisan Tropic Plantain Strips. I first found these down in Florida when we were down there in October, November. We went to Whole Foods and they had a little snack bag pack. It was like 6 or 8 of these little packs in there. And it's AIP friendly without needing any reintroduction. So it's just plantains, sustainably sourced palm oil, and sea salt. And they are so tasty. I absolutely love these. I can only find them at Whole Foods, but I'm sure other places have them if you have like a Sprouts or whatever. We don't have Sprouts here, but other types of natural food types of markets probably will have this brand. I really like these because they're super thin, really salty. I love that. And they are so good with, like, you can make a homemade guacamole. You could put them as like a crouton on top of soups and things like that. Just tasty right out of the bag is kind of how I eat them, and they're really good. All right, friends, those are my springtime favorites. I have everything that I talked about linked in the description bar below. If you have any questions about anything, leave a comment. I am happy to answer any questions that you have. If you haven't already and you'd like to, hit that button down below, subscribe so you never miss a new video. Happy spring. I'll see you all soon. Ciao.